Much better than Sia's movie.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Granted, that's a slow bar, but okay. Coming hot off the heels of something which, the more I think about it, the more I think it's worse the more I think about it.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm right there
so
with you.
we'll see how we feel about it after a whole year of movies where we'll be going like, was this worse than music? No, it wasn't.
This is definitely like the bar at this point.
Yeah.
All other bad movies have to cross over, but not right now.
Yeah, no,
right now we are thoroughly happy.
Yeah, music was we needed a palate cleanser, and I deliberately scheduled it so we would have Psycho Goreman after it because we heard that it was good, and it is.
Yeah, like,
it's very good.
It's one of those weird ass movies. I think I read like on IGN one day. It's like, yeah, I want to fucking watch this. This looks like exactly like my kind of trash, and I was right.
Yeah, no, it's it sits somewhere between the sensibilities of it brought to mind for me like Power Rangers and Trauma movies.
Yeah, like a little bit of Doctor Who in there too.
Yeah, and I saw a review from one of my friends where he mentioned like season 2 of Lex and like Jim Henson Muppets, and all of that is there. If you have that kind of, if you were part of that 90s era of weird sci-fi and stuff where there was a lot of practical effects, and also were part of that side of maybe the 80s and some of the 90s and early aughties where there was that really weird gory side of independent film that just had fun with it.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter if it was realistic or looked realistic. It was kind of more just fun to watch because it was ridiculous. This movie has all of it in spades.
Oh, for sure. Like, this is a total callback to all of those movies, just amplified as much as they can with their clearly shoestring budget.
And I it's hard to pull off because
very much so.
Sometimes you go a lot. There's a certain kind of person that gets excited whenever they see that a movie like this is potentially coming along, like, you know, like Turbo Kid or something.
Yeah.
But then you watch it, and like for me, Turbo Kid fell flat.
I never saw Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid is like a solid maybe 5 or 6 out of 10.
Okay.
It's just, it has certain ideas and references, and it pulls off certain elements pretty well, but overall it just doesn't feel consistently entertaining and cohesive as an overall movie.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of these movies. They just don't get it. But weirdly, on a certain level, I'm reminded of the Velocipaster.
Yeah, I was kind of getting those vibes too.
Yeah, because
like
it's
self-aware enough to make it like enjoyable. By the way, for those who have no idea what this movie is, I feel like we should explain.
Well, hang on, but we should point out before we get away from this thread is just the thing that it nails the same way that Velocipaster does. Is that it's very easy to look at a trailer for a movie like this and be like, oh, references, cool, it's in that style, cool. But the thing that makes this different from a lot of other things that are kind of in that vein is that it knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
And it understands its sense of humor, and it brings a certain personality to the genre that allows it to be as fun as it should be. And that's really hard to do, and the execution, they nail it. They nail it.
You can tell this came from a person who just loves these kind of movies and just has just wanted to add his own spin to it. And
they really cared.
Like they got like really funny actors and they got really funny writers to really just elevate like what should be like incredibly schlocky material.
There's pretty much every single joke lands.
For the most part, yeah. I mean, there's a couple here and there that's kind of like this movie takes a while to adjust to. I would say like the early part I had. The hardest part I had to was in the beginning, getting used to all the costumes and how ridiculous everything looked. That took some adjustment. Once you're there, you're golden.
Yeah, once you figure out what you're watching, because it does take a second. But man, the little girl.
The little fucking... Okay, let me explain. I will tell you the little girl in a second, but I do want to give it overview what this movie's about. Like,
sure.
in very broad strokes. This is a movie I don't want to spoil.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do just talk about lines we like, but we'll save that to the very, very end. Because there's some great fucking lines that we both we had to pause and rewind because we missed other jokes as we were laughing. Basically, this movie is about this girl named Mimi or Mimi
and Luke.
Mimi, who is just this little tiny sociopath, and her brother Luke.
She's super competitive and intense and refuses to listen to anybody telling her what to do.
Like, she's a little tiny ball of just built up resentment and rage, mixed with just what is yet to be realized homicidal tendencies.
It would be a great revolutionary scene. Yeah.
But while they're playing this game called Crazy Ball,
which is a made-up game that has bonkers rules, just completely convoluted.
Rules. Either way, it's like, so Luke, the brother, loses, so he has to dig his own grave, and while he's digging his own grave...
She forces him to dig his own grave, and when we're saying this, we don't mean like, hey, he digs a hole, like, he digs like a 6-foot deep hole, and it's evening time, and she's standing over him, just like taunting him, and he's like, can I stop? And she's like, no, then you gotta bury yourself. Like, it's like...
And while they're doing this, they find this like gem on the ground that Mimi figures out how to unlock. Pure happenstance.
It's locked into this little, this mechanism or whatever, and she's like, "Let me try. I'm sure I can figure it out." And she gets the code right on the first try, and the movie fully acknowledges how ridiculous and unlikely this is. But they're just like, "Hey, it's movie." And there's a lot of times where the movie does that, where it knows that it's arranging the script just to make certain things happen, it's just having a good time with it.
And this of course wakes up this giant evil monster. He's supposed to be like what they call him?
Giant. He's like 6 feet tall.
He's a
tall boy.
He's a tall boy.
Maybe 6.5. Yeah.
But who basically is like, he's the consumer of all evil. He's there to destroy everything in his path. He just wants to kill all life on the universe, basically. But because she has the gem, she gets to control him however she wants. So the rest of the movie is just how she just abuses that power. Like, not even like waiting, like immediately abuses that power. And the rest of the movie is just how everything falls around that.
And it doesn't necessarily stop him from randomly killing other people.
No.
Like, there's literally one point where he just detonates a random child, and it's for laughs, and it's hilarious. And the thing is that the shit that he does, like, they'll react to it, like, being grossed out and stuff, but generally people will just keep going on about their day. Like, it's like,
that's weird.
Well, yeah, all right. But the movie has so many good lines.
Oh my god. Like, right off the bat, we knew we're so in. When there's a part where Luke, after the Crazy Ball game, Luke is sitting in bed, and he goes like, "Dad, are monsters real?"
Oh yeah, the dad is amazing.
The dad is great. And Dad pauses, looks down, and goes, "Well, son, humans are the real monsters."
Some would say that humans are the real monsters, so yes, I would say monsters are real. And the mom is just like, what your dad meant to say is no, monsters are not real. But the dad turns into a little bit of a shithead at some point, but generally, like, the humor of the dad is one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Oh,
especially for the first half.
Like, I'm not gonna spoil the joke, but the story he tells towards the end is just amazing.
The story. Oh yeah.
Again, this he only tells like one actual story.
He tells a story about like when he was a kid and something that happened when he was a kid, and they're clearly playing it to make you expect a certain thing, but then where they take it, you're just like, oh geez. But then when he says what the moral of the story is, they're like, what?
Like,
why would you? This is like, what the fuck?
There are entire plot lines that are introduced in this just for one dumb pun.
Yeah, no, there is. I was impressed. I was impressed at how far they went just for that line.
Like, it is literally one line. It is a pun. They spend like 30 minutes of the movie,
like, not nonstop, but like they're just dropping that conversation for that.
Like, that's the seed. It's like, oh, it's going somewhere. Just wait for it. It's gonna pay off.
I can't believe we didn't see it.
I know.
It was so clearly set up, but and that's kind of the genius of it. But the roles are so well cast.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the kind of movie they're in. The monster or alien designs are
so creative and goofy.
Yeah.
And like just cheesy enough to go like, yeah, like you're not supposed to take this at all seriously.
Yeah. I mean, it does kind of remind me of Lex, where there were just like random cool monster costumes.
I never saw Lex.
Lex was weird. But It was also more sexual than I was ready to watch back when it was actually out, so I've only seen random things later.
Fair enough.
But it was like this Sci-Fi Channel series that was very strange. Very weird. It was from the Farscape era, so...
Okay. That makes sense.
Oh, man. Remember when Sci-Fi had shows like Farscape and Sliders?
Yeah.
And like, actual good shows?
Stargate.
Yeah, like, a consistent slate of all this stuff. But, yeah, so...
So I want to just talk about, like, this is a joke I made early on, because the little girl in this movie, makes some decisions, and they are bold decisions. And I joked to you, it's like, you can't direct this.
Yeah.
You can't guide this. Somebody just gave her the script and just said, trust your instincts.
No,
whatever that leads you, just go with it.
Whoever cast this girl, whatever she did in casting, I would love to see her audition tape, because something clicked during the casting process where the person doing the casting was like, we're not going to be able to make something like that. This girl has an energy and a way that she delivers her lines that is just the confidence of this tiny person. It's to the point where, like, she's so flippant and disrespectful, but it's hilarious at points, because...
It's like some of the lines are just so out there. Like, there's a line where it's like, come back and eat your broccoli. Champions don't eat broccoli. And turns everyone's
And the way she even turns to look at people sometimes is just like...
It's like, this girl's in theater class somewhere.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
It's kind of like when Aubrey Plaza got cast in Parks and Rec, because the casting director is like, she's the weirdest person I have ever met. We need to hire her.
Oh, God, what was I... Oh, man.
Oh, sorry.
What part? When like, there's this part where Psycho Goreman tells his origin story, and it's just this really dramatic tale of, like, slavery and... intergalactic suffering and shit like that. And at the end of it, she's like, well, that boring story made me tired, and just gets up and walks away. And the kids are great in this movie. The dude who plays Psycho Goreman is pretty great, too.
Yeah. I don't know if it's the bicep actor is the same as the voice. Probably not.
Probably not, but it's and they definitely had to ADR some of that stuff. But I don't know. If it was so refreshing.
Yeah.
You don't get to see a movie like this very often.
No, not
and I'm
anymore.
so glad this is a thing.
It is so uniquely its own.
Yeah.
And you just have to respect the hell out of it. That, like, this is going to be weird to say from me, like, this was an uncompromised vision.
No, it was. It was. This was something where the director got to make exactly what he wanted to make.
And it's so much fun.
I'm into it.
It is so much fun. Like I said, like, once you get past that point where you just accept, like, yeah, this is as weird as it's going to be. It's going to get weirder from here. Just go along with it. Mm-hmm. When you can get past that little mental hump, it's like, you're golden. You're in for a grand old time. Just enjoy the dumb, weirdly creative costume design choices.
Dude, the cop.
with the cops and, like, the weird, like...
No, the one cop.
Oh, the one cop.
There's just... There's a thing. I won't even...
It's a movie we don't want to spoil.
It's worth seeing. And it is pretty gory, but it's gory in that fun way where it's just, like, random explosions of blood and stuff sometimes.
Like, it's that B-movie blood, where it's like Evil Dead 2 blood, where it's like...
It's like
there, but it's like really
C-movie
cheesy.
blood.
Yeah.
It's trauma blood. Like, if you've ever watched a trauma movie... Have you watched Trauma?
No.
Oh my god.
I guess that's another thing to add to the list.
I have things to show you. But yeah, it's that kind of movie.
I had so much fun watching this.
It's silly. It doesn't take itself seriously at all, and the
jokes are so imaginative.
jokes are so good.
The joke, and like that's where it's like in
the magazine is just still one of the best moments. Like,
oh god, like again, I want to say it, but
don't. Don't say it.
I'm not gonna.
Just
but
watch it. You gotta watch it.
Just like it's a corny as hell concept if written by really clever writers.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's more like it's elevating the trope it's in.
Yeah.
Because it's played out like a cheesy shoestring budget. We just made this to get it out get it out there movie, but there's some genuine like effort and kind of heart to this.
They had a good time.
Yeah.
Everyone clearly cared about this and enjoyed making it.
And you can tell just by how much goddamn practical effects there were.
Oh yeah, no, the costume design, like the design and the execution of the costumes is really impressive.
And there is so much practical effects in here. Like all the gore effects for the most part are like more or less practical.
Yeah.
And just the creative ways to get about that are just incredible. And consistently imaginative and just entertaining as fuck. Like if anything we've said so far is like, this sounds like my shit, this is gonna be your shit.
This is easily one of the best of its kind I've ever seen.
This is probably one of my favorite movies of the year so far.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
No question. It's just a great time. So,
oh God.
it's so good to have watched to have followed up easily the worst movie I've seen in a while with one of the best movies I've seen in a while.
What a double feature.
Yeah.
What a double feature.
A good plan there.
I know, right?
Good picks.
Go us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shit. All right.
All right. Well,
I think that's all we got.
that's all. I mean, it's great. Go see it. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
And then
So.
leave comments with your favorite quotes so I can talk about them.
Oh yeah.
Because you guys don't know how hard I'm resisting right now.
Yeah. No. There's spoilers we want to give because they're just so funny. But it would just be us saying things without context because we enjoy them. So there's no point to do it on camera.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like this movie you and I are going to quote for a while.
Oh yeah. No. All right. So with
That's all we
that,
got.
good night.
Bye.